You tell a lot of stories in your book. Was there anything you left out, like too crazy to put in the book?
Oh, let me pee and I'll get that guy. The fucking publisher, bro. I almost canceled this book.
Wait, really?
I want to hear that.
Oh, you have to, they're scared. They're petrified.
Okay, tell us, what did the publisher not want to put in?
They didn't want to use a lot of the names, which I understood. So I had to go back and go through names again and see, what the fuck can't you put this name in? They didn't want any names where there were crimes involved with that person.
Okay.
A lot of stories I told for that person, I told their first name, but not their last name.
Yeah.
And I changed another guy's name apart. And then some of the stories were just, some of them were fucking out there. And we got to lock those up, just to make the story, just to make it flow a little bit more.
Yeah.
Shit like that. Like we used to, in 93, when I was in the city doing comedy, I had been doing comedy for 3 years at that point, and I wanted to come back here. I just shit the bed in Boulder.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to walk the streets where I grew up. I need to come home and fucking walk these streets, I would go up to 181st and take the A train down and fucking loved it. I love everything about that. My favorite part of this whole city is 181st Street at that time, because I would go to Carvel, I would get a dime bag on 174th Street. I knew that area. Right by the medical center, there's a Cuban restaurant up there. I just loved that area. So, what the fuck are we talking about? So when I came back in 93, a buddy of mine that I was tight with asked me if I wanted to make some money with him doing like drug rips. And he had DEA contacts. So he had the badge and the jackets and shit. And our job was just to go up to that area and case out drug dealers. And one of the stories that nobody ever believed that me and this kid saw, we were just parked outside of a building, and we could see people going in to buy drugs and shit. And we were there for like 2 days. And one day a guy got in the car and saw us, and he went on the West Side Highway. And we were like behind him. And like a mile away, he pulled into that spot like on 90th Street, and he just ran away from the car. He got so paranoid, he thought we were cops, that he pulled over and just ran. And we're like, what the fuck? So we waited like 25 minutes, and my buddy went over to the car, opened his trunk, and they had 2 kilos in there.
Get the fuck out.
Just like that. And that's how I got back to Colorado in 93. With that money. Yes. Fuck. It never ended, dog.
What a great hustle. Just have the DEA outfit on in the car, wait for someone to act wild, follow them until they leave their shit. That's, perfect.
The guy must have saw us like 2 days in a row. He got paranoid. Yeah. I've been there. I called the cops on myself a few times and shit.
Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, in 86 in Aspen, I was living in Snowmass, house sitting, and my girlfriend at the time went for a wedding that I was supposed to go to, but I busted into the ounce of coke on a Friday night that I had saved for like a month, and now I couldn't leave the fucking apartment. Like, I could not leave that fucking house where I was house sitting, and even I was so paranoid, I wouldn't even let the dog out to go pee. He kept looking at me like pee was coming out of his ears. I gotta go out and pee. I'm like, you're not going out there. There's cops out there and shit. I got so paranoid that weekend that I called the cops 3 times on myself. There's burglars on the property, and they would walk around, there's no burglars. The last time, the cop said to me, Mr. Diaz, when was the last time you did a line of coke? Please put the bag away.
Wow.
And that was it.